Well, let's go to Leanne Cusack now with Steve Barkhouse. Leanne.
Oh, thanks so much, Patricia. We normally look to Steve for dramatic renovations, for award-winning home makeovers. Well, not everyone is in a position to reinvent that way. Today, Steve joins us with the original way to make a space feel transformed: paint. Great to see you, Steve.
Well, it's good to see you too. It's good to be back.
And you are really excited to say that paint actually does a ton to enhance a home's value.
Well, it really does. Yeah, they're saying that a coat of paint can add 5% of the total price of the home when sold, which is fantastic. But I think more importantly, it really invigorates the home, right? It's what you want when you come into your home. So maybe you do it for someone else, but I suggest that you do it for yourself.
I couldn't agree more. Actually, Steve, I have a really tired, unattractive bathroom, and it was just transformed with a coat of paint, because apparently it's really difficult to get a hold of a good renovator. Did you know that?
No comment.
Well, it's gone from sort of a cappuccino color to white, and what a difference it's made. But you're going to show us some of your top picks and the ways sort of to, I guess, differentiate space with paint.
Yes, absolutely. With the open concepts direction and trends that we're going to now, having paint delineate space subtly is really important. And you're going to see that in what we're going to show you next.
Okay, so here we are. We're looking at sort of, is that a room divider?
It's, you know what, I don't know what we're going to call that. It's a green monster. It just sort of sticks out there like an ugly thumb into the room that was already tight and small. You can see in the background is the entry. So it's closed off. And this, thankfully, is the before picture, darker floors. And then this is the after. So we opened up those walls. And the entry now is inviting and open and bright. You can see just the natural light flooding in there. We used a Chantilly lace white paint on the walls, a lighter stain on the floor, and then that feature island that really you want to draw your eye to is in a dark mahogany stain. So just using the color of the paint and stains in there to really amplify what is now such a gorgeous and open room.
So you're not at all disappointing. This isn't just paint. This is a paint transformation and a major renovation all combined. Wow. Okay, we're looking at what here, Steve?
That's just the other end of the room. So we had a dark fireplace. It's hard to see it there on the right, but a darker fireplace with a mirror above, because the room was so narrow. They tried to use the mirror to make the room feel bigger, but it really just dated it. And then in behind that window is actually that small addition. This was a century-old home in Wellington Village, and it needed a bit of TLC. So we opened that up. You can see in the dining room that we've added a splash of color in there to delineate that space. And that's just a light gray-green natural color in there that really picks up and delineates that room. We've painted the fireplace in a high gloss white that makes it look much more modern and appealing.
This is really timeless. I'm a huge fan of white kitchens. Some people say that they're tired of white kitchens, but what's your take on this, Steve? A white kitchen never goes out of style, does it?
Well, I'm standing in my mom and dad's new house, and you can see behind me the cabinets are white. So if I dare say anything other than white is fantastic, my mom will strangle me.
She will not make you a sandwich for lunch, that's for sure.
That's right.
Okay, next
Lord knows
image,
I need it.
Next image is a different angle.
Yeah. So backwards, there's where the living space was, that bad addition on the back that was really teetering off. So we tore that down. We actually did a full basement renovation here, as well as a second-story master bedroom. But here's with those walls removed and opened up. You can see in the living room that's in behind there, a slightly darker shade of that gray-green color that we had in the dining room. So we're carrying that through, keeping that theme going, but using it just to make it a little bit darker because we have more windows there. And then that's the addition that was there, a bit of a mud room, and it had a set of stairs going down and a small powder room. And then we blew that out again with the living room. So with all the windows, we can get away with a slightly darker color that really makes it feel warm and comfortable. And you can see the furniture matches in really nice. And then taking that one step further in the family of colors, we're going with a dark feature wall that we have the television on. So when the television is off, you barely notice it. When it's on, it actually helps to highlight the colors on the television. And then below that, a linear fireplace, but all in that dark feature wall that draws your eyes. And then we tuck the stairs in behind that. So wasn't that cool? And there's the outside.
Okay, now it doesn't even feel or look like the same home inside. And I believe we have one last after for the outside. And
yeah, so carrying those colors through outside, so that theme of natural colors and warmth. And you can see that your eye is drawn to the upper section and the features and the architectural detail of the porch because of the colors, the white and the darker colors, and you don't really see the brick in behind, which was the focal point before. So architecturally, color can really highlight the areas you want to highlight.
Steve, what's so wonderful is that is a very lovely, lovely, typical Ottawa home. And after seeing the interiors, you have no idea that or concept that there can be such an open concept feeling in a home like that. They must have been planning for this and saving for this for quite some time.
Well, like I said, Lee, it was a $305,000 renovation, but we did the full basement, an addition on the back, a two-story, and then created a master suite upstairs with an ensuite. So, and the exterior that you saw, of course.
Thank you for giving us the price, because that's what everyone wanted to know as well. When we come back, we're really going to focus on paint, what to know, what to use, the tricks that will really transform. Thanks so much, Steve. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Leanne Cusack and Steve Barkhouse are winning us over with paint today. Leanne.
We are, Patricia. Yes, for those who felt the walls of their homes closing in over the past couple of years, those who are itching to create change in their space but maybe can't afford a dramatic transformation, Steve has great news about good old-fashioned paint. Steve, it's really fun to see the trends change, because a lot of those very dramatic jewel tones, which were big about 15 years ago, are all back again. Are you seeing that too? The teals and the royal blues and...
We are, for sure. I was just saying our places, but now I was thinking we had to paint at our house, but we don't have to because it's back in style, which is fantastic. But I don't encourage that for everyone. So certainly the Sherwin-Williams color of the year is a evergreen fog. Stephanie, help me out with that one. Which is the kind of the color that we showed in the dining room of that first round of pictures, and sort of that gray-green color. Yeah, very natural and super warm. And like you said, people are home a lot. They're nesting. They want to feel comfortable and safe. And those colors in that color family really exude that.
Yeah, for those who are planning maybe a driving vacation, and with the price of gas, they're thinking, wow, is it actually a lot more affordable to buy paint and stay home and create, you know, a new look? That may be what they're doing. But you would like, in this next 2 minutes or so, to talk about the fact that not all paints are created equal, and there are some tools that will really help with the job.
Yeah, I think that people can do their own painting, and that's one of the DIY things that can transform your house and just living space. It really brings out, you know, the home, your personality in the home. So we've got some
current trends. You mentioned that color, but what are the other trends that we should pay attention to, and what are some of the painting tips that we all may not be aware of? Yeah,
some helpful tips. Certainly if you're doing it yourself, we've got these, I'm just looking at the samplesize.com is the color. You can get it, I think, through Home Depot. But you know how you get those paint fans or those little chits? Well, these are actually painted to the color that you have chosen. And you can get a bunch of different ones, and they'll stick up to the wall so you can test run them. And they're hand painted, so they're going to be the exact color that you're going to get if you paint it yourself. So that when you're choosing those paint colors, you can do that. You can also order small sample size paints, so you don't have to buy the whole can. You get a small one. You can do a little test area in a discrete location and make sure that it's the color you want. But like you said, we want to make sure that we're getting a very high quality paint. Any good painter will tell you that it's the paint that makes the difference. It'll make a bad painter good because it covers well, it's easy to use, and that's the way to go.
Well, a paint looks very different in different areas. So I'm looking at your mom's shelf just in behind you. That's probably the same color as the cupboards, I'm guessing, but it looks so different because of the lighting and the recess.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing. When you stick these on the wall back here, we can see it in different lights, different times of the day, and we suggest that you leave it up for a week or so. My mom's actually trying to choose a color. She wants to have a feature wall to highlight her dishes. So she's got these little samples, but we're going to come in and we're going to give her the big samples and stick it up there for a week so that we know that we get the right color, because you don't want to get the wrong color for your mom.
Steve, that's the least you can do. Absolutely. Yeah, do that for your mom for certain. So we have about a minute left. What are the other tips and what are the other tools? You held up the small roller.
Yeah, the small roller just for the small areas, but make sure you get a good quality roller, paint, brushes. I know they're a little more expensive, but everything's water-based paints now, so you can clean those up afterwards. They last forever after the paint job. Don't buy your brush at the dollar store, please. Make sure that you're washing the wall first with soap and water, so you can use a sponge or one on a mop head. And then when it's dried, wipe it down with the tack cloth, which this is a little tacky, and it takes off the dust. So especially when you're rolling and you get those little blobs that stick on the wall and they're impossible to get rid of, this will take care of that for you. So that's a nice little handy solution for that.
Repeat that if you would. What is that called again?
It's called tack cloth, and it's literally tacky. I don't think it'll stick to anything, but yeah, there.
There you go. So it's a time when it's actually good to be tacky. Gotcha.
Yes, indeed. There's also some incredible paints out there. I just wanted to say quickly, Sherwin-Williams has some new paints that offer indoor air quality improvements. They'll take away odors, believe it or not, and there are some exterior paints that are self-cleaning.
Great.
So just want to throw that out.
Thank you. You're always a wealth of information. We really, really appreciate it. And I'm so surprised you got through the whole segment without opening your mom's fridge. That was really good restraint. Take care. Thanks, Steve. And we have a link to Steve on our website. Patricia.